September 1st. Can we have our Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
flag
of the United
United
States
States of America and to the
And
republic
and to the
for
republic
which
which
it
it
stands,
stands,
One
one
nation,
nation,
under
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 God,
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 indivisible,
indivisible,
liberty,
liberty,
and
and
justice
justice
for all.
for all.
Jenny, can you do roll call, please?
Yeah. Donna Corbin Savinsky,
Here.
Kevin Zorda,
Here,
Virginia Higley here, Carrie Ann Howe,
Here,
Robert Chagnon, Marie Pisner,
here,
Marcy Talicio, Robert Hendrickson.
here,
Good. And I'd like to see Robert Hendrickson and Marie Pinto. Okay, next on the agenda is correspondence. Do we have any? Savannah?
Nope, just the stuff I sent you guys today.
Okay, from deep. Agent correspondence, does anybody have anything?
nothing.
No,
No, hearing none, we'll move on. Approval of minutes we'll do July 21st first.
I move we approve the minutes of July 21st, 2020.
Second.
Okay, can I roll call, Judy?
Donna,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes,
Virginia, yes, Carrie Ann,
abstain.
Robert.
yes.
Four in favor, one abstain, motion passes.
You didn't ask me, Ginny, but I
Marie.
abstain.
Marie,
I abstain. I
sure.
wasn't here. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Marie. I
It's all
apologize.
right,
I
Jenny.
didn't know you
No
were
worries.
seated. Okay,
Usually
I'll
I
get you
check- I
next
watch-
one.
Yeah, usually I watch my sheet. So anyways, 4 in favor, 2 abstain, motion passes. Thank you, sorry about that.
I move that we also approve the minutes of August 5th, 2020.
I will second.
Okay. Ginny, roll call, please.
Donna,
Yes.
Kevin,
Yes,
Virginia, yes, Carrie Ann,
Yes.
Marie,
Yes.
and Robert.
yes.
6 in favor, motion passes. We didn't miss anybody. Next is old business, seeing none. New business.
I actually have a question. Do we hear back on whether or not they're going to renew our membership for CACOAC?
Oh, I haven't heard back yet. I was going to ask that of Savannah later on.
Yeah, you sent the email today and we're having a very hectic August. It hasn't been a quiet one by any means, so I will bring it to the attention of Lori when I see her tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure you got the deep stuff today. That was my first priority.
Okay.
Next on the agenda is our enforcement reports for 176 South Road.
Sure. Chairman, would you first like to discuss the special meeting or
Sure.
October?
Right, so we have a couple applications here that we're going to be accepting, but we can't act upon them for 14 days. So there's we can't use our next meeting as 14 days. It has to be the day after or onward after that. People wait until the next meeting after that. So do we want to have a special meeting or?
I don't understand why all of a sudden it's more than 14 days.
I don't either.
Can we get a legal opinion?
It's
I was
14.
gonna ask-
I
I
spoke
was
with
gonna ask the same thing. You know, we've been to many conferences and this has been brought up and we even asked that point blank was if you have a meeting on the first Tuesday and the third Tuesday, you could act
Yeah.
upon it at the next meeting. So I'd like to get a legal opinion from an inland wetlands.
Yes, please.
So I spoke with Lori about this, and it's not 14 days counting today and counting the day of the meeting. it has to be 14 full days, not counting the day of our meeting or the day we meet again. So that's why we technically aren't supposed to vote on the second meeting, because it's technically 13 days, not 14 full days from when you receive the applications.
Yeah, I'd like to get a legal opinion now, if we could, from an
Thank
inland
you.
wetland attorney. Because we've been doing this right along since I've ever been on the committee, so. But I would like to
And
get a
I've
legal,
worked in other towns and they do it the same way we do.
yeah.
You technically can get in trouble. We're just trying to prevent if someone were to petition, so.
I'm requesting a legal opinion from an inland wetlands attorney, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
So that said, what do we want to do? We would have to
I
have.
don't want to have a special meeting. I think we're doing it the correct way. And even if we're not, why can't we just say effective and say the next day? That's 14 full days.
Lori's not comfortable with people acting upon applications until the 14-day period is over. I will let her know first thing tomorrow that the commission is requesting a legal opinion from an inland wetlands lawyer. So however, we either can have a special meeting on the 16th after 14 full days have occurred, or the applications that are being accepted today. So the tree clearing on 188 Moody Road, the maintenance on 167, we'll have to wait until October or until we hear back from a legal lawyer, and we can't guarantee that that will be before the next meeting.
Right, so it would hold them off until October 6th if we don't do a special meeting.
Well, and it
Unless
kind
we allow agent approval.
No,
No, we can't act upon them. So we only can accept them, and we could accept them and hear them today, but we
Yeah.
can't do anything with it.
Right. I mean, because if we set that precedence, essentially what we're going to be saying is that every time we receive a meeting, we receive a new application, we're essentially going to be saying we have to have a special meeting.
Yeah, or we have to wait a month, or we have to
Yeah.
make people wait a month, which is crazy.
that's why it's a good idea to get the legal opinion done, that it has to be 14 days, the way we've been doing it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I mean-
we'd have to go back and rehear all the other ones
Yeah, I mean,
because they were done incorrectly.
what was that again?
You wouldn't have to go back and hear them. It'd be if someone were to appeal, but moving forward, we're trying to follow the rules in the way that they are written. And I spoke with Lori about this, and planners have spoken to the legislative body about how the petition period is written in a restrictive way. So I will make sure that we get the legal opinion that outlines whether or not we can do so. But until we get that, we have to uphold the petition period the way that it's understood.
And
I would be available for a special meeting if you wanted to push this one through.
Okay,
I mean, it just seems kind of silly to have a meeting on Tuesday and then have another one the next night.
We would get rid of the meeting on Tuesday. So that would be canceled and you would just meet on Wednesday.
Perfect.
That
But
would
then
be
we'd
fine
be
with
having
me.
special meetings every month.
Just until you get the legal answer to
Opinion.
the whole thing, I would say just this one time.
Very
Right.
confusing.
I would
Yeah.
say just hold off until we get the legal opinion and then take it
Yes.
from there.
So
And if
Well,
it's closer
it
to the
could-
meeting, we just,
Well,
you
it could
know,
take-
or is
it
that
could
comfortable to
take-
put it off till October?
yeah, it could take time to get the legal opinions, and so that means
Yeah.
we can hold these people off for till October, which would,
Okay,
is a long
I-
time.
Donna, it's
Yeah.
Marie. I agree with Savannah.
Yeah.
I think her hands are tied right now.
Yeah,
She's doing what Lori told her to do. I agree, legal opinion, but I think for the sake of argument and moving forward tonight, I agree that we have a Wednesday meeting, so we're the
Yeah.
day after. And that everybody's happy that way, and then we should have a legal opinion by then, and we can move forward with that precedent. But
Right.
again, I think her hands are tied. It's not her fault. She's doing what she's told. And for the sake of our applicant, let's just try to accommodate this one time.
Yeah,
Right.
I
So-
agree.
Savannah, do you have any inclination that we might have to receive a packet the next meeting?
Thank you, Marie, and I'm going to answer your question, Kevin. I want to make it clear, I do agree with Lori in the interpretation of the rule, and I just don't want us to ever get in trouble for not following the statute. It is written in an extremely restrictive way, but it's meant to protect the wetlands, but it takes a little bit longer for these things to occur. If we were to hold a special meeting, the only time I would send you guys additional information for that meeting would be if another application came in to be received, because I wouldn't want to hold anyone up, but everything would stay the same. The only thing with special meetings is we're not allowed to add to the agenda during the meeting. So I would just create another special agenda. These things would stay on it. They'd move, as you can currently see, they're in new applications to be received. They'd move to new business so that you guys could act upon them. I don't expect to receive any additional applications. I have a few more photos for 176, so IW 616 that I'd send along, but I do not expect to have any other additional information for that special meeting.
Right, but just because if we were to receive applications on that date, then the next meeting we wouldn't be able to have.
Right,
We'd
right.
we'd have to
Special
wait.
meeting, and then
Yeah,
another, and
yeah.
I
another,
also
and
could
another.
hold any applications. I could tell applicants that we're currently waiting for a legal opinion, and any applications that I receive in the month of September will have to wait to be received until that October 6th meeting.
Okay, as long as you let them know that and they're
Yeah.
aware, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I would
I agree.
definitely do that. If I receive another application, I'll tell them they won't be received until the 6th, but I will let you as a commission be aware that we have received something. We just won't formally accept it until the 6th.
Perfect.
I think you have to accept it. You have to accept it at the next scheduled meeting. So you have to accept it. We have to,
It's
We can't-
or within a certain amount of days.
right. Yeah, it's automatically accepted at the next meeting. Okay. So we're agreed. Is everybody available 9/16 Wednesday?
Should be.
Could be.
Should be.
Yes.
Okay.
I know right
I
now.
don't have anything now, so I'm good.
Me either. Yeah. Okay.
I'm at a wind stream tomorrow, first thing in the morning, so everyone can have it on their calendar.
Thank you. Okay, so now the enforcement report.
Yes, so on late afternoon on August 25th, our office received calls regarding what was referred to as a large amount of clearing on 176 South Road. So Rick Rochelle, the zoning enforcement officer, and myself went out to the property on the 26th, so the day after, in the morning, and the owner, Cliff Chapman, was there, and we explained to him the situation that they were doing regulated activities in the wetlands and that they had to cease their operations until they came before the commission. And I do want to highlight what Rick wrote in his enforcement report. The owner of the property was very kind. He said they'd immediately stop work. Rick has gone out to check the site, and they have stopped working. And so we've been working with J.R. Russo and Associates, and Timothy Kuhn is here representing that application. They sent us an application very timely, and we were able to bring it to the commission. They are looking to do maintenance on most of the property, but they're looking to landscape in the front, and the commission had a few questions for the applicant because we are going to motion on them next week or at our next special meeting that we wanted to address with the applicant. So, Timothy, on your site plan, you don't show the proposed boundary for the tree and vegetation cutting. You show where the catch basin and pipes are, you show the drainage ditch, and you show where you're looking to regrade and add landscaping matter. Could you please provide the commission with, it can be the same site plan, just showing where you plan to clear on that property?
Okay. Yeah, we can highlight the areas of clearing. Sure.
Perfect. And then the second question we had was, do you plan on doing any clearing or maintenance with the catch basins? You called out that you were going to clear the drainage ditch, but do these catch basins require any maintenance or?
To be honest with you, I don't know if he has investigated the catch basins at this point in time. It would not surprise me that they do require maintenance, because actually the drainage ditch itself is rather full of sediment as well. Not that that's part of the plan. But essentially the plan is really to just clear the brush and the debris from the side slopes and the ditch to help flow continue, as well as between there and the parking lots. But if you look at where the culverts enter the property, those pipes are about half filled up with sediment at this point in time. So I'm sure he will investigate the catch basins and clean them out if need be.
And then the last question we had was, so this front depression area that you're proposing to fill and add landscape matter, we were doing research in our department, but are you guys aware if that was created as a retention basin? Because
No.
if that was, we'd want to maintain it. We haven't found anything that speaks to that, but we just wanted to confirm that you haven't as well.
Yeah, we don't believe that it was. There was actually a site plan that we managed to get our hands on from John Cabibbo from, I think it was 1983, which showed, I believe there was an that pushed out toward the street there, or was the addition in the back? It was just shown as a wooded area, though. There was no basin, no wetlands or any of that was shown on the plan. So that would
the end of day today, so I will send that out to the commission for when they are going to motion on the application.
Okay.
That's good.
Those are just our questions for the enforcement report. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We didn't do a formal cease and desist because the applicant was very responsive and they have stopped work, and Rick has made sure of that. So.
Yeah, I was surprised. I drove down past there the other day. I normally turn at Freshwater, and the other day I, for some reason, did not. I was like, wow, all the trees are gone. It looked very nice with all the trees gone. It opens up the property for sure. So we're gonna have, he did submit the applications. What's our next steps? Savannah?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Chairwoman.
Yeah, so the next steps is, of course, he submitted the application, so we'll act on that next meeting.
Yes. Yeah,
okay. Next on the agenda is number 10, report of development services and planning. Lisa.
This is the pond and lake connection. She spoke to us on, or she gave us a message to send to the commission in June. I guess they didn't treat it when they said they would for July, and so now they're telling us they're gonna treat it at the end of, or apparently they did treat it at the end of August. If we receive notice of the unit, I'll continue to send that along to the commission.
Okay. Yeah, we get those quite a few times. Next on the agenda, IW 615, 88 Moody Road, application for permit to clear plus or minus 2.2 acres of trees in upland review area, property known as 188 Moody Road, is on the tree clearing plan for Corporation, 188 Moody Road, dated 7/24/20. Oriana Realty Corporation owner, map 100, lot 12. So that's this one. Samantha, is anybody here that do we want to talk about these today, or are we just gonna wait until the next meeting?
It's up to the commission. Last time when we heard before acting upon them, we had to send out, just people came who weren't there at that meeting, had to make sure they watched the recording and or read the minutes. You guys would like to hear it today, we can do so. If you'd like to hear them at the special meeting, you can do so as well. So you can hear and act, we just have to receive today.
My thought is if we're going to have a special meeting, we may as well wait because we're giving people the time to come and be there. So let's give them the time to come and be there.
I agree.
Yeah, except if we do a brief overview of it, if we have any questions, they might be able to go back and get answers to those for our meeting.
And then they'll just do another overview at the meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are some questions that they're going to need to have answered.
So is the applicants here?
Yes, Madam Chairman, it's Dave Ziyax from Hesketh Associates.
Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
Oh, we're good.
I was interested in hearing your conversation regarding the issues of the 14 days and this and that. And I can assure the commission that this is a problem everywhere. And there's been lots of conversations over the last few years with legislators and everything to try to come up with a system that makes more sense, particularly for minor applications that really don't need to sit around for 14 days or a month. Because you folks actually meet twice a month.
Yeah.
Many commissions don't. So applicants by default have to wait a month for a lot of minor incidences. So I don't know, with everything else going on, it's probably going to be a while before it rises to someone's agenda, but it is definitely a source of conversation.
Yeah.
But anyhow, very quickly with this, I have a little presentation to show you. This is an overview of the site. This was actually, we were here last month for a boundary map amendment that you folks approved.
Right.
And that map was recorded on the land records just to make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks again like it did back in 2011. And no fault on your part. It was just the way things work out. But the site is 188 South Moody Road, rather. It's on the south side. It's about 15.15 acres, zoned all industrial. This is over here on the westerly side is the terminal for the Triano Oil Company there, located there. Martin Brower's right across the street. And this parcel was the subject of a major application back in 2011 that this commission and the Planning and Zoning Commission approved for a truck facility associated with Martin Brower. And what Martin Brower did was they went ahead and changed their minds and expanded across the street. And so that project, fell by the wayside. And what's happened now is, I think is that there's been renewed interest in development along Moody Road between the Winstanley project and the Martin Brower expansion and other things. So the owners are getting, inquiries from potential tenants and developers for the property. So what they'd like to do is basically do some tree clearing on it to open up the property, be about 3.44 acres of trees, 2.2 of which are in the upland review area, the 100-foot review area associated with the wetlands along the boundaries. And basically what they would do is complete the clearing, but not grub the site and remove the tree trunks. So we would cut the trees flush to the ground and remove that from the site. And then wait until a real development plan comes along to, grub and clear and prepare the site for construction. So the amount of disturbance would be just tree clearing, not the removal of the stumps and grading and things of that nature. If there's any disturbance to the ground associated with that, we would, reseed those areas with conservation mix, similar to what's on the rest of the site. And prior to the start of the construction, we put erosion control fencing in to make sure there's no runoff into the abutting wetland areas. And that's basically it. The staff had prepared a report for you. The plan is actually this plan here. The limits of trees that exist now is this light line along this area right in here. The wetlands on this map are the sort of the gold or yellow color. down in the corner over here and just a little bit over here along the southerly boundary. And what we were proposing to do is maintain a 50-foot buffer to these wetlands here. And then we had narrowed it to 25 feet on this side because this is really basically a drainage ditch here, but staff is suggesting, at least for this application, is to maintain 50 feet all the way. And we're agreeable to that. We can make that adjustment.
Good.
So that would reduce the amount of clearing a bit, probably by a couple of tenths of an acre or something like that. But we can maintain a steady 50-foot buffer to the edge of the wetlands for now.
To see your presentation, could you email me the edited site plan just so that I can be sure it goes before the commission?
Oh, sure. We take care of that in a day or so. Sure.
Perfect. And I'll be sure that gets to you guys once I receive it.
Thank you.
That's basically it. That's the application. And be happy to, answer any questions now or wait until 2 weeks from now.
Excellent. That was just my big question was the buffer. So as long as you're agreeable to the 50 feet, then that's appropriate.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have nothing else.
Anybody else have anything they want to comment on just for? Nope. Okay, I don't hear anything more, so I guess we'll talk to you on our next meeting and on the special meeting on the 16th on a Wednesday.
Okay, and we'll get that revised plan into staff.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Have a good one.
Good night. Thank you.
No, Bob, we're still on.
I'm here.
Okay.
I was saying
Okay.
thank you to Dave. Thank you to Dave.
I thought you were leaving.
You're not off the hook yet.
All right,
I've got
good
to wait
night.
till Carrie. Okay,
Thanks.
good night.
Bye-bye.
Next on our agenda is IW 616, the 176 South Road application to be received for to conduct following regulated activities: clear trees and vegetation around the perimeter of the parcel, clear the drainage ditch, regrade the area between South Road and the front parking lot by filling with loam and seed, and add landscape material in the front area on the property known as 176 South Road. An owner, J.R. Russo and Associates, applicant, representative, map 55, lot 088, IP. So we're here to receive that one, or did they want, are they here? Would they like to speak?
Yeah, actually, Tim Kuhn with J.R. Russo and Associates. We discussed this earlier as a part of Savannah's report. And essentially it'll be received tonight. We'll provide the plan that was requested showing the limits of clearing for the next special meeting. And, we can expand on the presentation at that point in time. If you have any other questions, however, feel free to ask at this point.
Sure. Just Savannah, Nicole, the report, it states that there was a large amount of tree cutting on this property, but also the adjacent property to the west. So how is that? That's what it says in your.
That was what our calls that we received said.
Okay.
That's not ultimately how Rick Rochelli or I perceived the cutting.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
what we were. That's why we went out there, and so that's
Okay.
why I'm asking the applicant's representative to really show what they cut, where they're cutting, so that it can be up to the commission to determine at what point a large amount of trees have been cut.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I would think the neighbors would have been upset if they cut their tree. Do we have any more questions for Kim, Mr. Coon?
Yeah, not until we see that old site plan, because I do have questions about that front area.
Yeah.
And then definitely an answer about what they're going to do with these culverts, because I would say they're more than half full. They're pretty clogged up, and that is a pretty significant effort to clean those out, and the impact could be pretty huge.
Yeah. Actually, those culverts are the town's drainage system. So we
Okay.
don't have any plans to do anything with those culverts. Really, that's a town maintenance issue. I think we were looking more at the structures on our property that discharge to the drainage.
Okay.
Okay. Can we ask the town to clean them up?
I will bring what we discussed now that we know that they belong to the town now. I will bring it to John Cabibbo, Assistant Town Engineer's attention that if they are clogged, Timothy, would you mind just sending me an email with that so that I have something to forward along saying that you guys are
Sure.
perfect? And I will
Yeah.
update you guys at the special meeting as to what I've discussed with the town engineer.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. That'd be good, because, yeah, they definitely need to be cleaned. And you can make it to our meeting, our special meeting?
Yes, yep, someone will be there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so we accepted both applications. Thank you for your time tonight. as well.
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, you
You
too
too.
now. Okay. So next we have agent approvals. XIW 20-08, 20 Stardust Drive, application for a permit to repair the culvert located in front of 20 Stardust Drive in the town right of way. On the owner, map 88, lot 21, R44 zone.
So I'm bringing this before you guys to accept so that we can act upon it through agent approval. It's to repair an existing culvert on the road located in front of 20 Stardust Drive. The Rustic Brook, which is a tertiary tributary to the Scantic River, runs through that culvert, and all of the proposed work is within the town right-of-way and the existing waterway. And so the existing culvert is a 48-inch corrugated metal pipe. And so there are sinkholes that have developed on top of the culvert due to the holes within it. I know the pictures were a little spotty, and I'm sorry about that. That's kind of how we were aware that there are problems with the culvert. And so the lining of the culvert is scheduled to take 1 day. And after the pipe has been lined, the town will fix the road above the culvert so that the sinkholes no longer pose any damage. And so just to highlight what I brought to your attention in the staff comments and the site-specific conditions. Obviously, properly designed streams are important for the fish, for everyone in the water course. And so the site-specific conditions address that. They really do need to be sure that the alignment and the gradient of the culvert match the existing stream, and that they redeposit native material in the culvert once it's been installed. I also have talked with John Cabibbo, the assistant town engineer. I'm hoping that they can maintain the corrugation of the culvert because, as you learned in the trainings, that the fish have a hard time swimming when it's
Yeah.
so I made sure to tell them, make sure you protect our fish in there. And so I reached out to obviously the other departments in the town, and per the request of Lieutenant Ed Shirley, they asked that fire and EMS be advised if the road will be shut down. John Cabibbo says that's standard procedure, but I do want to condition that just to ensure that everyone who needs to be involved is aware of the work that's being done.
Thank you. Yeah, they always do a really good job. We've received a lot of applications for their road repairs, and they always do a great job protecting and planning. And so I have no issue.
Yeah. Yeah, they do great. Great work.
And I will let you guys all know once it's been once it's been approved. So that is the plan, but I always want to keep you guys involved throughout all agent approvals.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anything else?
I have nothing else.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Meeting adjourned.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good
all.
night.
See you
Bye,
next
everybody.
week.
See you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Aye.